What's going on, guys? It's your boy Neeks back with another match preview. This time it's Manchester United versus Sheffield United in the race for top four. Yeah, it's been an interesting start to this post-lockdown. I was in post-corona, but I mean corona's still around, eh? It's a post-lockdown period in the Premier League. Some shocking results, some not so shocking results. Of course, in terms of Man United, we played our first game on Friday against Spurs, drew that game 1-1, a game that a lot of Man United fans felt we would win going into the match, and maybe on the balance of play, we were the better side, but 1-1 draw is what it was. In that time, Sheffield United themselves have dropped points in both their opening two games. Obviously, one was a game in hand. Arsenal's dropped points and dropped out of the, I would say, top four race. Spurs, of course, we know as they played us in the first game, they won yesterday. Some may say they're back in the race. Others not too sure. We had our live stream yesterday. Wolves are level on points with us. So if we're in the race, then they are definitely also in the race, considering their fixtures as well. It's not the most difficult like ours going forward for the rest of the season. Leicester City, who are sitting in third place. And I think most people, including myself, felt that the gap they had on us was too big to drop out of the top four. But having drawn with Watford, relegation threatened. Having drawn with Brighton, relegation threatened. Considering the remaining fixtures, they've got a lot of tough teams in that run. Maybe that's an extra space that's opened up into the race of top four. They've been dragged back in because Chelsea are, 4 points behind them with a game in hand? They win that game, I mean, obviously that game is against Man City, but if they win that game, hypothetically speaking, 1 point. 1 point behind Leicester. And if we're trying to catch Chelsea, I'm not sure why we can't catch Leicester. I'm really not sure, because our run on paper is very, very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. This game coming up against Sheffield United is, I would say, our toughest game between now and the last day of the season. The last day of the season is away at Leicester. Now, if we need to win that game, I think top four might be decided before that game, to be honest. With the run that we've got, I think we should put ourselves in a position where the last game is a mere, it's just routine. It's routine. Sheffield United aren't going to be an easy game, but as I said, they're one of the few teams who haven't looked great since the lockdown. Before the lockdown, they were flying high. I mean, they're still flying high, all things considered, but they just got battered 3-0 by Newcastle. I know they went out to 10 men, but you can see a lot of rustiness in the way they're playing. Stevens made a big error for the opening goal. Egan's, of course, got sent off. I think they've got injuries to O'Connell. Dean Henderson's going to be out for the game against Man United. So all is not rosy at Sheffield United right now, even though their league position is very, very lofty. And because of all of that, I think we should be winning this game. I mean, I think we should win this game anyway. We went to Bramall Lane earlier this season. Terrible. One of the worst performances this season, if not the worst. Especially the first, 60, 70 minutes. Made a few changes. After being 2-0 down, came back to lead 3-2. And in the end, we drew 3-3. I mean, the goal actually, their equalising goal was actually handball, but it wasn't given. But that was a game we should have won. And this is a game we should be winning. I think what's key in this game for me is that Solskjaer, if he hasn't learned already, to learn from any mistakes that he made in the Spurs game. You know, Jose Mourinho was always going to sit back and defend and try and hit us on the counter-attack. Sheffield United are not going to come out and attack us. We are going to be dominating the ball. We're going to be pushing them back. They're going to sit deep and want to also hit us on the counter-attack. So we need to play players who are going to be able to break down those deep defensive blocks, which is something we struggled with all season. So starting from the back, obviously David De Gea in goal has come under a lot of criticism recently, rightly or wrongly. he's come under that criticism for mistakes that he has made. And Wan-Bissaka for me obviously is the obvious choice at right back. I will also go with Luke Shaw at left back, even though I do like Brandon Williams, and I think having the option off the bench with him being more attacking than Luke Shaw is something we can definitely go for. You know what? Solskjaer could go for it at the back. He could go for it at the back because of how Sheffield United often attack. They have their two strikers up there. They've got the two attacking midfielders, and they have their overlapping fullback. So they attack in a very different way, which could lead to him playing the three at the back, which would mean Bailly comes back in. I think for me, Bailly should be in the starting lineup alongside Maguire anyway. But we'll see what Solskjaer does. But Bailly and Maguire will be my option in a 4. And then Pogba and Bruno have to start. For me, Pogba and Bruno have to start first name on the team sheet. The question is, which midfielder is best suited to partner them? I think in this game at home, I would go with Matic, as the sole holding midfielder, which allows Pogba and Bruno to do their business further up. And considering the two fullbacks we have, Wan-Bissaka, very, very good defensively, Luke Shaw doesn't get forward half as much as I want him to, that should be enough cover. Should be enough cover to have Matic as well as the back 4. So, yeah, I'll have Matic and let Bruno and Pogba just do their business further forward. On the left, of course, Rashford, I would stick with Martial. Some people will call him for Igalo to start. And on the right, I would go with Mason Greenwood. I would not go with Dan James. Dan James was already 50-50 for me for the Spurs game, because I was thinking, what's Jose going to do? What is Jose going to do? Is he going to learn from the mistakes that he made at Old Trafford in terms of the way that he played? And no, he didn't really. He didn't really. Dan James is best either off the bench against tired legs, especially if we're trying to win the game late on, or against a team that has a high defensive line and probably dominates the possessions. You're playing a Liverpool, a Man City, to an extent an Arsenal, Chelsea, and the possession may be 50-50, or we may give them more of the ball, depending exactly who the opposition is. Dan James can exploit that space behind, which he's done time and time again in those big games. When we're playing a team where we are by far going to dominate the ball, he doesn't have the nous and the ability really to make and create chances in those tight areas. He really doesn't. He doesn't beat his man in a traditional winger type of way. You need to play the ball in front of him and he will run onto it. And of course, he's got the pace to leave his defenders behind. But I expect us to be dominating the ball. I expect us to be dominating Sheffield United and pushing them back. So I would have Mason Greenwood on the right. I've heard people talking about Mata. So it's an option. Of course, it's an option. But I think with Mason Greenwood on the right, he adds an additional goal threat from that right, which I think can be very important. And the creativity coming from Pogba and Bruno for me is more than enough. More than enough. So yeah, I think with that lineup, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, I see no reason why we shouldn't be winning that game. No reason whatsoever. Nothing. I don't understand how we couldn't win the game with those players on the pitch. 90 minutes, do the business. And we get that win. It's going to breed more confidence and allow us to go on the run that we need to go on to get into the top 4. Possibly. Catch Leicester in top 3. But we'll wait and see. My prediction for the game, 3. I'm going 3-0. I'm going 3-0. Sheffield are it's a good side. But I said they've got some Egan's out because of the red card. O'Connell, I believe he's still injured. And Dean Henderson, the goalkeeper, obviously on loan from Man United, he is unavailable. So I think with all of that added in, I see it as a comfortable victory for Manchester United. Guys, hit the like and subscribe button, comment below, let me know your thoughts on this match.